and welcome to Encounter Roleplay. Hello to you lovely people live watching on Twitch right now, and if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to join us live for, well, that bit doesn't really count anymore because this is our finale. But we were live every Thursday at 5 p.m. EST for the live show, but this is it. This is the end of our tale, but before we dive further into that, let's go around our wonderful cast and crew for tonight, figure out who we are and who we are playing on this fabulous finale. We'll start with our wonderful guests returning as Mo the Goblin Bard. We have Origami Shuriken. Welcome back.
Good to be back. I'm excited to be here for the finale. Excited to play with everyone again. And we'll see how well I do with the goblin voice when I'm not sick.
Well, I'm glad to have you back and unsick. I'm sure Mo will be fabulous tonight. And we have joining us for the first time today, Seven of Diamonds. Hi, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much. Not too bad at all. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. It's really appreciated.
Sweet. And who are you playing today?
So my character is Bart Gavoden, who's a half-orc rogue. He comes from slightly more affluent lineage, so he's he knows his place, he knows his worth. So let's see what he can do. Nice.
Well, welcome, and we will go to our wonderful regulars. We have with us the lovely Madame Gandalf.
Oh, hi. It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I don't know why I'm going into that kind of... I apologize already. Thank you everyone so much for having me and letting me be here today once again. I'm sorry that I have my webcam off. Unfortunately, the ring light is just penetrating right through my eyes and straight into my head and giving me the worst of headaches. So I think I'm just gonna stay in the dark today. Sooty has seen many grim hours during her time on the TPD, and we can essentially call this her emo Spider-Man phase.
Oh, God. Why did you remind me of that?
He literally has a dance-off during his emo Spider-Man phase.
He does.
So
French.
Yeah. Yes, he really does.
That's where Sooty's at right now. She's at emo Spider-Man dance-off phase.
Oh boy. Well, I don't know how to quite top that, but we have Kat, Cleric of Cord.
Hi, I'm Cleric of Cord. I'm Kat, at Cleric of Cord. Due Diligence is back. Our Warforged Wizard, one last time. Hopefully this won't be permadeath. He's now become an emergency shelter for Sooty. With Sooty in their emo dancing, I believe it sounds like a rave inside of a tin can. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting today.
All I can imagine, just as Dew wheels around what remains of the precinct, you just hear like a from within him.
Yeah, and every now and then it gets really awkwardly louder, and then Sooty comes crawling out with sunglasses on just to grab something else and goes clambering back in, and it goes back to just this
flashes of light through the cracks of the panel.
It's like a disco ball in there. Oh boy. And I am Susie. I will be your GM for one last time tonight, once more guiding these beautiful people through the land of Tilandia and all the wonderful shenanigans therein. But before we begin tonight's show, I'll remind you all of our sponsors. This week we are sponsored by After Collapse, which is a new D20-based post-apocalyptic RPG in which you play survivors hunted by a machine menace. You'll be faced with adventure and the need to survive in a dangerous world, facing hostile technology, covetous human warlords, clashing pocket empires, and other hazards in the unexplored reaches of the old civilization. To find out more, go to shadowfusionbooks.com to begin your adventure in the apocalypse. sounds pretty right, actually. We are also sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, which is our virtual tabletop of choice. All the wonderful roles you will see tonight are powered using Fantasy Grounds. So let's hope the virtual dice are kind to us tonight. And you can try Fantasy Grounds for free at fantasygrounds.com. You can also get all of your miniatures from Wayland Games. Just go to waylandgames.co.uk and get yourself a huge range of D&D, Warhammer, and 40k minis for 20% off. And also check out our sponsor, Tabletop Loot, who sell incredible dice. When we hit 20 retweets, we will give away a set of dice to someone here in chat. So get retweeting that tweet. I want to see that tweet retweeted before the end of the session. Do it. You can also support us by interacting with tonight's game. You can donate to affect our game by giving players natural ones, or me, natural ones, natural 20s, wild magic surges, and the table of pets. So if there is a moment also that you love during this show and you have loved during past shows, please do clip it on Twitch, because I watch them back. I know a lot of the other folks watch them back, and we put them on Twitter, we put them in our highlight reels, and we share them around and have a good laugh. So if there's something that you really enjoy in the show, whether that's high drama for when I finally kill due diligence, or laughing when we talk about creamy death murders, then please do clip it and share it with all your favorite people. And without further ado, let's go into our finale of Once Upon a Time. So, last week, our heroes, our brave detectives of the TPD, found themselves once more in the sewer after they did the creamy death murder of Agent Charming. There was a few awkward scenes in which the captain was prestidigitated, and you tried to clean up part of that horrible, horrible crime scene. As you made your way back to the TPD, you discovered it had been completely burnt to the ground. Everything had been burnt to the ground, including the desk. There was a horrible moment as the full weight of this landed on the party, that the desk was gone. And we zoomed forward a few days to the funeral of said desk, where his urn was presented to his stool son, his metal nameplate presented, when Sooty stepped forth, opened the urn, licked a finger, dipped it in and tasted it, and discovered this was not the desk. This was an imposter. This was Beechwood, not Oachwood. Someone else's desk had perished in this horrible fire. You spotted a figure that was watching the funeral from afar, and they disappeared, but as they did, they dropped a note. And it was a note made from cuttings of other magazines that simply read, "I have your desk." And there was a paw print in watermark. Now, initially, the group thought this to be Two Boots, a detective that had worked with the TPD previously. However, it had come to your attention that this was not the mark of Two Boots. This was the mark of Puss in Shoes, a notorious feline criminal who had a long storied history with the TPD and yet had evaded capture. You headed out into the town to find out more about Puss in Shoes and see if you could track him down. And you found your way to the seedier part of town, to the Big Nut, which was a peanut butter bar run by anthropomorphic dog people. Obvious jokes about nuts was made. And you found out that you needed to head to the local milk bar, which was called the Litter Tray, which was like the opposite of the Big Nut. It was with cat people instead of dog people. Gio disguised himself as a cat It was like a bargain bin version of the musical Cats. And Sooty turned herself into a cat, and you entered the bar to run some recon to find out some information. You found that Puss in Shoes was actually there, seated in a booth, and seemed to be not paying any attention to you, but he did have a very fabulous pair of Louboutin shoes on. An arrangement was made and a conversation was had, and Puss revealed to you that he did in fact have the desk and that he would return the desk to you if you replaced a fighter that had ducked out of his illegal underground fighting ring. You agreed, and the date was set. A few days later, you met in the underground fighting pits, and you came across your opponent, which was a very large Minotaur lady named Daisy. A very good battle happened in which a lot of damage was dealt. Vines were cast, tentacles were flung, and Daisy was eventually defeated. True to his word, Puss released the desk to the group and then disappeared without a trace. So, where we begin this week. It has been a couple of weeks since we last saw everyone. And while the TPD hasn't been rebuilt yet, a sort of facsimile of the precinct has been sort of made using shipping containers and local buildings. So there is a makeshift office for you all to hang out with. Sooty has still been living in Dew, because the living quarters that you guys had in the stables haven't quite been fully sorted out yet. But there's a sense of normalcy that's starting to return to the precinct after the whole shakeup of the Great Fire. You find today, Dew, that you can't find Milene or Finbar or anyone else really, but Mo's here. And they seem to have brought along a half-orc with them.
Hi.
Good day.
I'm going to get a crick in my neck. If I had a neck.
Yes, I get that quite often.
I'd better oil these joints.
A little hand pops out and hands you an oil can. And then slams the door and continues inside.
Hi, Sooty.
It is good to have you back, Mo. We have updated the rules. Despite the temporary quarters, the rules are still in force. And you hear the sound of the dot matrix printer going off as reams of paper come pouring out of Dew. They're quickly assembled, collated, and stapled and into a booklet, which is handed over to each of you. And these are the rules. We must abide by the rules. If you have any questions, please ask them, because don't break the rules.
Of course, rules.
Has the captain had his coffee?
Is the captain here yet?
The captain's not here.
I have a fresh pot being made. Sooty, do we need more cream or sugar?
We might need a little more sweetener.
Oh, okay. I'll
You
send.
know, the little pilly things that add sweetness to it.
What about the pink packet?
Oh, we got some of the pink packets.
Okay, I will send Constable Bob to the store.
Love you too.
Now mixed with the hissing and sputtering of the espresso machine.
There is quite the cacophony of sound coming from Dew right now. I think this is probably the noisiest Dew has ever been.
Yeah, probably.
So, would
Just
you like
straight
to
up
update?
disadvantage to any stealth rolls for Judas session.
I think he already does go into
Triple disadvantage.
And for the last time, we will go over the rolls. By the way, due diligence cannot die because Susie's mom will stop inviting her to family gatherings. So
Yeah, do safe. He's got the thickest plot armor. You have no idea.
moms, y'all. Rule number 1. The captain must have his coffee. Rule number 2, no kink shaming. We comment, yes, no shaming. Rule number 3, must always have a warrant. I will always have a warrant to print out. I can do those for ages. Number 4, Finbar, when he's here, is always right. Number 5, we do not talk about the rocking horse. Don't talk about the rocking horse. Shh. We don't talk about it.
I don't believe they exist.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Rule number 6, all staff will be buried in a Hawaiian shirt. If you do not have one will be provided for you. Rule number 7, bloom before boom. Tutti handles the bloom. Rule number 8, I do, usually.
Makes sense.
Rule number 8, and this was very important a couple of weeks ago, do not touch the ooze. It burns. Do not touch the ooze. Rule number 9, when in doubt, burn it out. Rule number 10, a Finbar move is to always lube. Rule number 11, go over the eyes, boo. Rule number 12, only a ginger may call another ginger, ginger. Rule number 13, no clopping in the stables.
Yep, I remember that one.
And do not do, the corollary to this is do not be like Malene and internet search that. Not recommended. Rule number 14, do not use Constable Bob for target practice. And rule number 15, no eating other detectives. Rule number 16, no unwanted intimate pictures. Any questions on the rules?
These rules seem to be quite eclectic, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
How did these rules come to be? I don't quite understand.
Just like any rule, as situations develop and warrant, these rules were created. Rules like do not iron the transfer with a hot iron on the shirt, because
It
somebody
kind of
did
melts
that.
it. It's made out of very cheap plastic.
So they had to make it a rule because somebody did it.
Okay.
Like no jumping off of cliffs. They have to
That's quite
put the rule.
That's like a generally good life rule, you know?
Yes, but people do it and then they have to put the sign up with the rule on it.
Very true.
No bombing in
But
the
I'm so
deep
sorry, Bart? Bart, is it? Bart?
end. Where's that voice coming from? Oh, that strange compartment there. Yes, my name is Bart.
It's got like a slight tinny, echoey, like residual sound to it because it's just coming out of like due. The music has died down. It's no longer thumping, but
That's it. So, you're possibly the tallest person I've seen who isn't Bob.
I believe that's a compliment. I'm not too sure.
It's a statement.
I will take it either way. I very appreciate the statement.
And Mo, it's lovely to see you again.
You too.
Does Mo still have the extremely expensive earrings that he traded with Maylene for?
He sure does.
Oh, it's the blingy!
The bling.
Because they were...
Babe.
Yeah, so Mo is wearing a pair of earrings that look impossibly expensive, as if they were stolen from a fashion editor of the #1 fashion magazine in all of Thailandia. It looks fabulous. But at this point, Bob actually passes by, and he's carrying some heavy timbers on each shoulder. He's been a central part of rebuilding the TPD precinct. He is, for those unaware, Bob is a hill giant. So he's a very large lad. Looks a little bit vacant at all times, but he still, despite wearing a workman's gear of the little vest and some dungarees that are tied around his waist, he's still got his little constable hat on, and he's still pinned his badge to his vest. And he comes by and he's like, you alright? Everything going okay?
We need more sweetener.
Oh, I can get some for that. And he sort of turns around, and I would like you to make me a dexterity check, Bart. Dex saving throw.
And do is printing out the necessary requisition forms for it.
Mm-hmm.
23.
23. Okay, so you spot this happening. He is not particularly aware of his surroundings, and as he spins around to answer due, the beam comes just inches from your head, but you're quick enough to just duck under it as it swings past.
Careful, good sir. May have taken my head off.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. My name's Bob, and he kind of hucks the timber under his head and just offers a hand to shake.
I offer my hand back. Pleasure to meet you, Bob. My name is Bart.
Oh, I like that name. That's a good name, Bart. So
It's good
sweetener
strawberry.
for you. Yeah, it's a good name. Almost as good as Bob. So you need some sweetener then, do?
Yes, Bob, thank you. I have the forms.
I'm gonna trust you on that one because I've still not mastered reading.
I will put it in the pocket for you to hand over.
Thank you. And as you do, you notice that there is in his pocket, there is a jam donut that is a little bit squished, but you notice that it's a strawberry jam donut. Bob has made progress. He can eat red things again.
Bob,
Well-
a strawberry donut.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to my therapist, and she said that the only way for me to get over my aversion to red foodstuffs is to just, face the beast head on, is what she said. So, I'm just eating everything strawberry these days.
A peanut butter and strawberry jelly sandwich.
That might be a good one.
Surely you have to eat
Yeah.
more things than just strawberries, because that would just run through you like anything.
Well, I've never had what they could call a balanced diet, but you see, when I had that brief brush with vampirism a few weeks ago, it did put me off all sort of red foodstuffs for a while. So I'm trying to get back in the old horse, as they say.
Your logic is sound.
How is it coming with the juice pouches?
still a bit iffy because there's a whole piercing thing, and it reminds me of the teeth.
You'll get there. And
Yeah.
Dew reaches out and pats him up lower back. I think that's where you can reach, maybe.
Yeah, so
Just pat his thigh. So,
Yeah.
but he tottles off, and he hears some banging and crashing as he deposits the timber somewhere, and he comes back like an hour later with a huge sack full of tiny little pink packets of sweetener, and he chucks it down on the ground. He says, well, I couldn't get the usual ones, but I got these ones, and it says that they are really nice and sweet on them, so I hope these ones are all right.
That is fine, Bob. As always, a good job.
Thank you. And he just turns and leaves. But as you watch him leave, you look down at this massive sack he brought in. And as you open it up, you see that each one of these tiny pink packets is stamped with a red apple on it.
Bob,
That looks familiar.
Whoa.
where did these come from?
I
Were they
went down
in-
to the fantasy Costco, where I normally go, and well, they didn't have any of the other sweeteners. They were the only ones they had.
I see. Thank you, Bob.
It's all right. I do owe the weird cat man that runs it a soul, though. So if you find one, let me know.
I believe Finbar is not using his.
Oh, all right then. If we can find Finbar's soul, then it's his.
I will put out a notice.
Yeah, put an APB on Finbar's soul.
This is a good idea.
Yeah.
And the paperwork starts happening.
All right. So, you are in a room alone with a sack full of these suspicious-looking sweeteners. Now, but roll me an intelligence check to see what you know about this. See, Mo and the rest of the gang have had brushes with this particular iconography, but I don't know whether you had.
Mm-hmm. As far as I can see, I do not recognize it, but let me have a check. 3.
A 3. You aren't overly familiar with this. You've seen it a couple of places. This appears to be some sort of branding. You're not entirely sure of what, though. You have seen it around a fair bit. This is quite a popular logo, but you're not sure what it is.
Friends, did each one of you want to explain the relevance of this apple to the situation?
It is drugs.
Oh, very straightforward. How potent
Snow
are we
White.
talking here?
It varies, but it is the mark of Snow White. She's a drug dealer.
Given the name, that's expected. Very interesting. Very interesting. Can I possibly kind of surreptitiously try to take a handful of these pink packets without anyone noticing?
Okay, roll me a sleight of hand check. Let's see how well you do.
That is 15.
Okay, what's everybody's passive?
Oi.
10.
12?
10.
Sooty? 10? Okay, none of you notice.
I was going to say, Dew's only comment would have been, do you like your coffee very sweet?
I prefer my coffee with a bit of drugs in them.
As do I. I find the caffeine to be quite stimulating.
But you're made primarily of metal, correct?
Yes.
How would you taste? being
I do
made of
not.
metal?
I tasted for her.
I'm looking around, trying to double check where that voice is coming from. It's like, oh, it's from the crevice again.
Sorry, I'm going through my emo phase.
I restocked, by the way, Sooty. And Do will then grab a handful of the pink packets, open it up, hand them inside, and then close it again. There's more sweetener for the coffee.
And you see Sooty kind of take all of this sweetener, almost as though you were like handing her a bag of cocaine or something, and just is already like overwhelming her coffee with far too much sweetener. Then should be good.
I imagine in about 30 minutes time, Do just ends up with a load of dents in him because Sooty's just going fucking ape shit.
Sounds like a pinball machine. Ding, 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 ding.
But before Sooty just completely disappears, she's going to gesture to Bart to like, as she has the door open from receiving the sweetness, just come down to my height. Come down to my height.
I'm going to lean as close as I feasibly can, quite tall, so I'm bending down quite early. What can I do for you?
If you really want drugs, you should check the...
Oh God, what's the term for it? Oh God, it's like...
The evidence
room?
The evidence locker, hey? Interesting.
You can
I shall keep
find
that in mind.
all the drugs you want there. You might even be able to find some snow.
I thank you for the information. Very appreciated.
I feel like I have to just say this from Susie. Don't do drugs, kids. This is
Drugs
the
are bad.
PSA. Drugs are bad.
Okay.
If you're a child and watching this, turn it off. You're too young. Go to bed.
We're using drugs as a metaphor.
Hi everyone. Madam Gandalf from Encounter Roleplay here. I just want to say that drugs are bad. Don't
Now I know.
do drugs, kids.
And knowing's half the battle.
Winners don't do drugs. But
Role players don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kid. Do D&D instead.
Oh my God.
The D is for drugs.
Drugs and
rails?
drugs. D&D. Drugs and drugs.
Can't go off the rails if there were no rails to begin with. Okay, let's get back onto it. So, it's kind of at this point where the captain walks in with Chief Dragonov with him, and they are wearing quite serious expressions. Now, Bart, this is the first time you've seen the chief and the captain, and you are quite taken aback to see a very large centaur man with grey hair and a grey mane, and a very severe-looking woman in an extremely sharp black suit, with a bright flame red sort of like cravat deal going on. And she walks in, Chief Dragonov, and she kind of nods at you all individually. And the captain looks extremely tired, and he says, "Hello, detectives."
Good day.
Good morning, Captain. And I reach in, and I'm sure Sooty's hand will come out with a cup of coffee, and Do will take the cup of coffee from Sooty's hand and hand it to the captain.
He takes it, and he's very grateful and says, "Thank you, Do. Thank you."
Commissioner,
Now,
would you like coffee?
she says, "How hot is it?"
Fresh.
I'll take a cup.
Would you like... Dude's trying to think if... I'm trying to think if Dude's out. Yeah, he would. Would you like a pink packet or several in your coffee?
She just takes the cup from you and says, "No, thank you. I'm sweet enough." With like the complete most deadpan sort of.
That is plain to see, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. And she takes a sip, and she says, cold. And it's not, it's scorching hot. You can see this, like, this steam rising from the cup. But she says, now I'm sure you've all noticed that Snow has upped her activity in the past few weeks. She's taken the opportunity of the fire for her to make her move. I'm sure you are all sick as I am of seeing the billboards every 5 feet. Those colors, and you know she's talking about these billboards that Snow has erected from her new cosmetics line called Mirror Mirror, and it's like the most gaudy ass palette in the world. It is full of like some tacky ass colors, and it's got like her posing on it, you know, holding it as if it was like the apple. They're everywhere. Snow has used this opportunity in the past few weeks to go hammer on and tongs and just fully getting as much as her shit out there as she possibly can. She has adverts everywhere. She's all over the ViewTube. She's all over magazines doing fashion spreads and interviews. She's on television. She is everywhere. And she is basically trying to make herself, or has seemingly made herself, the most profitable, the most powerful woman in Thailandia through media, through products. And Chief Dragonov has a very serious expression on her face, and she says, "This cannot continue. We have to stop her."
Yes, I imagine Finbar is quite upset at no longer having his ass everywhere.
Yes, well, I never thought I would be thankful to Snow for anything, but thankfully she did rid us of that. Look, you all know as well as I do that this is a smokescreen for her to push her product.
I thought they were billboards.
What do you think the powder in the palette is made of? She's got young beauty bloggers out there on YouTube putting pressed snow on their faces because it's colored with different dyes. They are literally drugging themselves with eyeshadows.
What a life to live. I mean, what?
She's just kind of like gives you an eyebrow raise.
I do not consume
There's
these
a
things.
Netflix documentary on how Firefest failed, you know.
At least it is not the lead-based cosmetics.
For now. For now, it's not. But who knows what she's going to do? Who knows what she is capable of now she has leagues and legions of young, impressionable fans. And people hooked on her product.
You would think that she would be mourning him, Prince Charming.
Nobody mourns Charming. I barely noticed he was gone.
Yes, and it's true. It's true. I forgot about that creamy gentleman. For a moment.
I cannot every time I see the ooze.
Captain Colt. You notice at this point, Captain Colt has like stubble, and he sort of scratches it and goes, "Well, yes, I've not actually been able to shave since the incident. Every time I squeeze that tube, it just..."
This is why I no longer put creamer in my coffee.
It's, who knew cream was in so many things?
I had to take the Twinkies out of the vending machine.
Oh God, the Twinkies. That one episode is going to haunt me for the rest of my days. I just hope you all know that. Mo, Mo and Bart, actually, you were both there in the sewer. You didn't see it happen, but you saw the aftermath of Special Agent Charming of the FIB, who, once these lot had dealt with him, was left was just a battered, creamy, bloody corpse. You're not entirely sure why it was creamy, but there was a lot of cream. Some of it whipped.
I shall never have cereal again.
Not to kink shame, but whipped cream is just not my thing.
Chief Jaganov is like, well, this has been wonderful reminiscing, but we need to make our move. We need to take down Snow White. As much as it pains me, we have to take down my stepdaughter.
Okay. Sounds straightforward.
How far would you like us to take her down?
6
Just a
feet?
peg or two?
As much as you have to. If I know Snow and I know Snow, she's not going to go down without a fight.
I think Finbar said that before.
Jesus Christ.
You just run it into the ground, right? It's not even in the ground anymore. It's like about 3 feet underneath.
I'm sorry.
That's what we do here.
Sorry. Ooh. Oh. Sorry. I'm back. Ooh. You're going to have to. I can't look at you, Kat. I can't. I'm sorry. Just... Oh, fuck. Okay. Look, we're going to have to march on her castle. She's overtaken the estate. I will assemble every officer I can to counteract her forces at the front gate. You shall have to be the strike force that penetrates the defenses and gets in there.
What information do we have about her forces?
Well, she, as you know, has the Dwarven populace under her thumb, and they are fearsome warriors. They will die for her. They have killed for her.
Oh, they will die.
She has. Well, she doesn't have the big bad wolf anymore. You dealt with the big bad, but she does have the huntsman. Now, we don't really know a lot about the huntsman, but his kill count is remarkable. His calling card is cutting out the hearts of his victims and then mailing them to their families.
Oh,
First or second class?
it's very
Second.
cold-hearted.
Ooh,
It is. And he's a
that's
tight
dark.
wad too.
That is dark.
Not even the respect of a first class stamp.
Should have at least sent it recorded.
What can I say? There's no honor amongst assassins.
He's
Yeah.
heartless.
Truly. As for what's within her fortress, within the castle, I can't tell you. I don't know. Every agent we've sent in there hasn't returned.
Is this like the tower thing again?
Tower thing?
With the wall of thorns? When Constable
no.
Bob kept disappearing.
No. That was Mallory Effersent being dramatic. Speaking of which, have you seen Mallory recently?
All we have received is this communication several weeks ago, and I show her the picture that Finbar sent.
She looks and she's, good God.
Yes, it is now rule number 16.
She like there's a swear that just dies on her lips as she looks away. Well, that answers that question. There was the weekly dragon meeting, and she wasn't there. We were all a little bit concerned, slightly, a lot, not. But, well, that's that mystery solved. I can strike that one off the list. So, will you do this? Will you be the strike force? Can I count on you all?
It is our duty.
Some way.
You will receive handsome bonuses if you manage to take down Snow.
How
you can count on us to penetrate any barrier we run into.
That's what I've heard. You will get to keep anything you find within the keep. I will regret saying this, but please, if you do keep the drugs, be responsible. Use them yourselves. Don't sell them on the streets, otherwise I will have to hunt you down myself.
They may not have
Can we
much
give them
resale
away?
value, but okay.
No.
That's how you use drugs responsibly, everyone. Do them yourselves. Don't sell them to kids.
It would not feel right not to share them with my friends.
With your friends? Yes. With children? No. With random people on the street? No.
Oh, well, no.
But what if those random people look like they're really, really, really in need of some drugs?
This is a moral gray area after all.
Depending on the quantity, we can be persuaded to look the other way.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You can see at this point her like whole posture it's shifted. She is from very like upright, straight, head up, shoulders back to she's just kind of like sagging a little bit from the confident,
like
harsh
captain.
expression. Yeah, she looks suddenly like 30 years older for some reason. She just kind of you watch her lean in to the captain and whisper like, "How the fuck have you survived for so long with these people?"
These are the best people in the GPD.
The captain sort of whispers back and says, "Their methods are unconventional, but by God, do they get results?"
Meanwhile, all of a sudden, due diligence starts doing the bullet thing.
Why?
Another callback for you.
Oh God.
Because I couldn't not.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, so are we doing this? She's asking you several times if you're gonna be this police strike force. Are you going to accept the offer?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Sounds like a fair trade.
I diligently accept.
Very well. Then meet me back here tomorrow, and we will we'll make our march.
Or April.
She just sighs heavily, turns around, and walks out.
Good. Good. I appreciate the pun. You might have to explain it to me a little bit later.
All
Very
right.
well.
So,
Appreciate it.
as Police Chief Dragonov turns and leaves, is there anything you would like to do before we head to the showdown tomorrow?
After the commissioner has left, Mo will look at his fellow officers and say, hey folks, how do you calculate the radius of the TPD's jurisdiction?
I don't know. How do you calculate the rest of your sentence?
Find the centaur.
Oh,
Out of character for just a moment. If this is your thing, somebody created a pun bard, a college of puns bard on Twitter at Paterpaws. Go check him out because
oh, that was
he's a very punny guy.
oh.
Jeez, find the centaur. Bugger me. I'm done. You can't top that. That was genius. Absolutely genius.
You can't top that. All right. So,
But you can bottom it. The-
oh fuck. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I
So-
think for Sooty, the only thing that she's going to do that night, she's going to just listen to that song that goes like, so don't we go somewhere only we know, on repeat. I don't even know the name of that song, I just know that part. But it's going to be on repeat. And kind of like in The Office, where she hasn't been able to afford to buy the whole song, so she just listens to the 30-second sampler on repeat.
Oh, okay. Due diligence, make me a wisdom saving throw.
15.
15. Okay. Hearing the same 30 seconds of Somewhere Only We Know. I think it's by Keen. I think.
Keen or Coldplay, it's one of those.
Over and over
Keen,
and over and over again is testing your patience, but you manage to not lose it. You just remember your love for City and all the things you've been through, and you just let her have those moments.
And I put on the buffing pad attachment, and he's going to make sure that he is at his absolute best for the next day. So, you know, it's got the metal paste, and he's just chromed out by the next morning.
All right, so let's have like a little montage, a little like training montage, the night before the battle montage. Do is buffing out any sort of divots or any tiny scratches. He is the shiniest boy by the morning. Sooty, deep within Dew's compartment, you're listening to that 30-second loop. You're deep in that emo phase. You're really feeling it. Mo, what are you doing in this montage the night before the battle?
Mo makes sure his hair sticks up in weird places like a proper goblin bard. Goblin King, if I may. And it's telling himself, just practicing jokes until he falls asleep.
Love it. Love it. Mo looks absolutely fabulous. He reminds you all of the Babe by the morning.
What?
Not sure, but he certainly has the power.
Does he have the cod piece?
Important question.
Ugh,
Or does he stuff?
combination.
That's for Mo to know and anyone else who wants to find out.
So why don't we go somewhere only Mo knows?
So, if this was a Rocky film, right, it would be like Burning Heart playing in the background. In this montage, I'm imagining it like a movie. It's just 30 seconds of that song playing. As everybody's
over and over again.
And what is Bart doing during this montage hellscape?
So I want to test out how strong these apple sweeteners actually are. So I'm going to take like 4 and see how much it affects me.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Of course, yeah, of course. Oh, that's a -1 on that. Hi everyone. That's an 8.
Oh, okay, so in this scene, you're wanting to test the true strength of these sweeteners. So you pop open like 4 of them, rip them open, and you just make a huge line on the table. And in this scene, as Somewhere Only We Know loops for the 90th time, Bart sticks $1 and just starts going down the line. He makes it about halfway before he just falls into the line and it just up the side of his face, and he is unconscious now until the next day.
It's a quick way to fall asleep.
I believe that it constitutes drug abuse.
Well,
Fair enough.
he is in a police department. Somebody should arrest him, but hey.
It
That's another job.
constitutes, so con saving throw, you know, this is what
No. So, as we have the dawning of the next day shows up in the dramatic title cards, we awake early morning. Bart is still face down in a line of drugs. Mo, your hair is fabulous. It is hairsprayed within an inch of its life. You look amazing. Sooty, Somewhere Only We Know is played for like in the triple digits by this time. You are so shiny. And in comes Captain Colt wearing riot gear. He has his helmet on. He's got little horsey knee pads. He's got like a padded horse coat thing on. He's geared up and ready to go. He has his police baton. Are we all ready?
Yes, sir. Are you sure you want to go in like that?
I'm going to be on the front lines with my men.
And women.
And women. And people who identify as non-binary and others. Yes.
Or Warforged.
Or Warforged. Or dragons. Or trolls. Or kobolds.
Or dragons.
As you wake up, it's just like a big powder up the side of your face, Bart, and you're like, you don't have a pupil. Your eyes are just like. Do, if I may ask one last time, for my morning coffee.
Am I being fired after this?
No, but I don't know if we're all going to make it.
Oh. Reaches in, waits for Sooty to hand him the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
1 packet or more?
I'm feeling daring today. Let's go with 2.
Oh,
And yes, Sooty will sort out the sweetener, and then little hand will pop out to
Hand it to him.
close the
And
hatch.
he gives you a salute, a very crisp salute, as he drinks his coffee.
I start printing out warrants.
All right. So warrants are just like flying everywhere from the top of due diligence. Well, shall we go then?
Yes.
And dragons.
And dragons, bud. And dragons.
Where are we?
We are at the temporary stables.
Oh.
Don't you get any ideas about clopping in here, okay? I can read you all like books.
She can.
Your stomach seems to be speaking.
No, I have no stomach.
Your middle part seems to be, and dragons.
My torso is talking.
All I can see now is that gif of Sam wearing the Mercer shirt. I will hand Bart a coffee.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, give me more stimulus. Oh my God.
Thank you. I think.
It will help.
Okay, so as you're all led out of the TPD, riot gear is offered to you should you wish to take it. It won't provide you any mechanical gameplay sort of benefits, but it'll just be like, visually. And you see now that you see all familiar faces that you have been with in the past, who have adventured with, have had going out on cases with you. You see newly released from prison is Grodin, the dwarven cleric who you remember arrested himself for killing people. He has been, after a long extended court battle, has been freed from prison via the help of his pixie lawyer, who was relentless. And he is suited up and ready to go. You see the desk has somebody has strapped like a bulletproof vest to the desk. He's not going anywhere, but it's some protection for him. You see all sorts of your fellow people all marching out. Bob is leading a battalion of his own, and you are all marching up to Snow White's castle. And you can see along the way there are the billboards all smiling down at you with this sort of sneer almost as you pass by. And the folk of Taylandia don't quite know how to take in this sight. And you see people wearing t-shirts and hats and coats and having bags that have this red Apple logo on. You see people with their phones, fantasy phones, with Snow White phone cases recording you as you walk past. Somebody throws a half-drunk cup of coffee from the Muffin Man at you as you walk past. The environment is not particularly a heroic one as you march towards her castle. She seems to have turned the populace on you.
Because it's fun and it popped into my head. While Maylene is not here with us physically, she's here with us in spirit. And so every billboard of Snow along the route has horns and a mustache and a beard. And the hand is now holding a spider.
Nice. In fact, actually, as you walk past one billboard, you spot this in particular, but you see dangling down from a rope, you see tiny Gretchen, the baby octopus, smoking a cigar, as is tradition for Gretchen, but she has a little paintbrush and you see her drawing on the horns.
I give her a very surreptitious thumbs up.
And the little tentacle gives you a thumbs up as you walk past. So, you all line up in your battalions in front of the keep. You folks are kind of separate. You are a sort of stealthy task force, but you watch as the TPD's forces sort of arrange themselves within the front gates of the castle's keep. And you see this is a very large, imposing-looking castle with gleaming white walls that seem to be almost like mirror smooth. They are impossibly they don't look like bricks arranged. It looks like glass that has sort of arranged itself in a wall shape. And there's you see stationed on top, there are small little figures of what you know to be dwarves that are posted along the walls. You can see behind the actual main keep building itself, it has tall parapets. It has all the good fantasy castle architecture going on. There's a big spire, and the roof is a ruby, blood red sort of the roofs are all this very striking white and red. And you see stood atop the main gate to the castle, which is closed, is a figure, and it looks to be Snow White. She has her raven black hair, the beautiful red lips. She's wearing a red bow in her hair. But instead of her dress or her high fashion that she's usually wearing in all her press releases, she's wearing this set of gleaming golden plate mail with this ruff at her neck. And she is kind of stood there with her hand on a sword. She's got a long flowing cape behind her. And she gestures to the field, and she says, "Wicked stepmother, you've come to claim my heart, have you? Well, bring your forces. None shall penetrate my walls today. Oh, by the way, while you're at it, I have just released a new range of lipsticks, which you can pick up at your local fantasy Sephora."
I believe that is a
wink.
fallacy. I believe Agent Charming boasted of penetrating your walls.
It's true.
Do you shout this at the?
Oh yeah.
And you hear, particularly Bob starts laughing, and he guffaws, and it is a very loud laugh. And as he laughs, other people sort of laugh, and she goes, "Oh, you're very funny, little robot man. I'm going to turn you into a wine cooler."
I do not have that capability.
"Oh, you will when I'm done with you." And the whole time she's giving you this Disney ass, horrifically unnerving smile all the time.
Don't you touch my Jew.
What was that? Sorry?
Too much Botox.
She would look horrified if she could move her face.
And but at that point, Sooty will excavate. Due diligence. It doesn't. She'll just leave. She'll exit out of.
I messed up my words. I'm leaving.
Just walks out of the building.
The emergency exit is this way.
Oh boy. Okay.
She will exit due diligence.
I said, don't you dare touch my Jew.
And she's like this over the parapet. Who said that? I can't see. Oh.
How far away is she?
She's 100 feet away. She's quite.
Oh, good. Fireball.
Oh my god. Okay.
As soon as she starts insulting Sooty, that's it. We're done. Fireball.
Can I bolster that with a fire bolt?
Sure. So, roll your attack. I need to make my dex save. All right. So, what is?
It's a DC 15 for the fireball.
Well, she succeeds on the save.
Okay.
But she's but it's a attack from you, isn't it? A spell attack.
6. Yeah, 6.
That won't hit her, unfortunately.
Just
Half of 33.
Half of 33. All right. Whoops. Punch the mic.
I can just
So she
flame
just
this
isn't
thing on
going
me
to realize.
off my face still.
Sooty just isn't going to realize, though, that this came from both Bart and Jew. Like, Sooty's just going to be like,
Wow, when I get angry, things get fiery. I never get angry. Now I know why.
So what happens is, Bart, you aim for one of 12 Snow Whites that you can see on top of this castle wall, and unfortunately you hit the wrong one, but you do hit like a dwarf that flies off the top with a Wilhelm scream. But there's an explosion at the top, and as you look up, Snow appears to have disappeared. As the flames die down, she's not visible anymore. And at this point, Chief Dragonov steps forward, and she's wearing like this, like Charlize Theron in Snow White and the Huntsman, like freaking dope ass, big ass dress, battle dress with like this crown. And she draws a sword from her back, and she points at the castle, and she shouts, "Charge!" And all the officers of the TPD start charging towards the castle. You now have an opportunity for you to sort of move away from the main sort of conflict and do something, or you can be a part of the charge, or you can do something. What would you like to do?
Are there any other, what kind of gates are they charging at? What are we...
They're charging at like a very stereotypical, like large wooden door, like a big, like the big sort of drawbridgey looking door.
Okay.
And you have a covered battering ram, which Bob is in charge of, and he's running straight for this door with this large battering ram.
I think we might want to go look and see if there's a back door.
All right. Okay. So, roll me investigation checks then.
10.
26.
Oh.
18.
16.
Whoops! I was muted.
There we go.
Everybody except Sooty, who is celebrating about this great fireball that she somehow managed to conjure in her fury. You sort of use this opportunity to sneak away from the main attacking forces, and you're looking around the castle walls for some sort of vulnerability or like a sneaky back door. And you can see kind of posted a little sort of... It looks super insignificant. It looks like somebody's back door in their house, but there is like a small wooden door on the side of this castle's main wall, and just posted against it is like one dwarf who's like half asleep, and he has like a large pike that he's leaning on.
Dew is going to pull out his disguise kit, and he's going to he's going to get a little pink hat and a little pink suit and put it on, and he's going to go up to the dwarf, and he's going to go, "Ding dong, Avon calling."
Okay, roll me a check for your disguise kit.
18 plus proficiency, so 21.
21. Okay, I imagine this suit kind of looks like Jackie Onassis kind of suit, you know, like the little hat. Okay.
Yep.
He's got like little falsy eyelashes on, little lipstick. And this dwarf goes, hang on, what accent am I going to do for this dwarf? Shall I do a really bad Scottish accent? Let's do it.
Do it.
He says, oh, you with Avon? I told you it was bad.
Yes, I am here to talk about a merger with Ms. White.
A merger?
Yes. Did she not get our offer?
I mean, she probably did, but I'm just a guardsman.
Well, I am here for our meeting.
Sorry, I just see why. Okay, roll me a deception check. I'm gonna use that if you don't mind. That was so good. That was beautiful.
Oh no. 13?
Okay, let me just see how. All right. He goes, he opens the door, he says, just 1 minute. And he turns and shouts and he goes, Darren, there's been a merger. Come in. And he pushes the door. And he lets you in. Oh, you muted, Cat.
I motion for the others to follow me in.
He allows you to pass. He seems a little bit suspicious that you're all quite heavily armed, but nonetheless, he lets you through.
On the streets these days, it is quite dangerous, especially going door to door.
You look after yourself, lassie. It's a rough world out there. Oh, by the way, can you drop a catalogue at my ma's? She hasn't had one for a few months.
Oh, of course. I also sell Tupperware.
Oh, do you?
Yes, it is quite handy to keep your Avon products in.
Ah. Well, I'll have to let my ma know about that then. I'm sure she'll be interested.
Of
All right.
course.
Well, good luck. Take care. And remember me when you make your millions, eh?
I will. Thank you. And just keep right on going on. Oh, there's definitely a little handbook, by the way. Little
all right. So, you manage to make your way into the castle keep, and you see that most, if not all, of the forces are focused on the walls, and you can see like there are hounds that are chained up and ready to go if anything breaches the walls. They don't seem to notice you, but I would like everybody to make a stealth check.
And Dew is going to make sure that Sooty sees the doggies.
Because I'm still kind of off my nut, do I need to do that with disadvantage?
No, I mean, we did it as a joke, so I won't mechanically punish you.
15 for Dew.
10.
18 for Mo.
Okay. Your D&D DAR sells Avon.
And a 12 for Sooty.
12 for Sooty. That's one of my favorite insults from Scottish Twitter, by the way. Your DAR sells Avon.
I love fucking Scottish Twitter.
Okay.
That's where I got the whole
I'm just so
using
glad
Retrobate
that joke
so
translated well.
Oh, you fucking weapon.
Weapon.
One of my favorites is also moon fruit as an insult. Fucking moon fruit.
My favorite, just to go off topic here, because this is what D&D is really about. Sorry, we'll get back to the game in a second. My favorite is a picture of a dog that somebody posted and put, "This dog looks like a dinner lady." And it does. Anyway, check out Scottish Prayer. You won't disappointed. So, as you sort of sneak your way through some like smaller buildings, through a stable, through a couple of like outhouses, and like a feasting hall and a mess and all this kind of stuff, the dogs in the sort of main area in front of the main doors of the keep, kind of, you hear a low growl as they seem to have noticed you.
They look like dinner ladies.
Yes, they do. They've got little pennies on.
Sorry.
Hairnets.
Hairnets. Little plastic gloves on their paws. Sooty, puppies.
Puppies!
That sounds like such a little kid thing.
Puppy!
So, what would you like to do? They are currently chained, but as they notice you, they they are starting to pull at the chains, and their growls are getting louder. They might draw attention.
Yeah, I'm hoping Sooty can take care of them.
I would like to, if nobody has anything to do, or I could help Sooty by throwing them the jerky from my rations kit.
I will definitely look after the puppies using the jerky from the rations kit.
Check the vending machine. There may be more.
And Sooty is just in 7th heaven right now. just surrounded by all these little puppers.
Okay, so roll me an animal handling check with advantage because you have brought forth some delicious jerky.
Okay. Ooh, 17?
17. Okay, so as you get closer, the dogs are growling, but as you offer out your little hand with your jerky in it, you see that they seem to be quite happy to see you, and their tails start wagging furiously, and they start panting happily. And as you get closer, once you look past the hairnet and the little pinny, you can see that they're all wearing like name badges, and they've all got like names like Cerberus and Centurion and like really tough names, but they're like little terriers. They're like tiny little terriers and poodles that have been given these like terrifying names, but they happily accept the jerky and seem to chill out a lot in your presence, Sooty.
I'm sorry, I keep thinking of dinner lady dogs, and so I'm trying to keep myself. The longer I look at it, the funnier it gets.
I know. I had to click away because I'd just be gone.
But yeah, Sooty's pretty much oblivious to the world now. She is in full puppy mode and just absolutely like becoming one with the puppy. In fact, she might have at some point turned into a dog herself just to be as excited as all the other puppies are.
But there's one in particular that is it's a toy poodle, and it has a very large name tag that says Twinkle the Destroyer, first of his name, King of the Kennels and the First Dogs. Yes,
Breaker of king fences.
pisser of rugs. He has a whole list of titles on his name tag, and he is straight on his back. His little tummy exposed as you're tickling away at his tummy. So the rest of you, you're stood before the main castle keep. The doors are open. And there doesn't appear to be anyone posted up here guarding. You can see through the doors, you see a large entrance hall with a very impressive, fancy Disney Castle-esque staircase right in front of you. And it seems to lead up to another sort of room that has like a very large, imposing door. And this whole place is decked out like the most bougiest castle ever. It's got like black and white marble floors. It's got like gold leaf over everything. All the walls are white. She's got a hanging down from like the walls, like these great tapestries of herself holding red apples and stuff like that. It's like just so tacky and bougie in here.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Duke's going to cast
I'm
Mage.
quite happy about this. Yeah.
I believe you may keep it after we are done.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Duke's casting Mage Armor.
Captain did say
on
we can
himself.
keep what we found, and I found this. I'll take it.
Yes. So Duke casts Mage Armor on himself, and then pulls out a spray can and starts spraying on pretty much anything he can find property of TPD.
Okay.
Some police departments do that to overwrite the graffiti. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
Or
you get
TPD
to work.
was here.
You get to work tagging.
Yes. Everything property of TPD.
All right. So what would you like to do? You can now do, as you enter and start tagging up the place, you can hear what appears to be some sort of chanting coming from that room up the staircase.
Do I recognize what they're chanting?
What languages do you speak?
That's a damn good question. Common, Elvish, and Orc.
You do not understand what is being said. It sounds almost sing-song. It is a language you don't understand. Just to make it easy, does anybody speak Celestial? No. Okay, so you don't understand what is being said, but it sounds like some sort of almost prayer is happening in this room.
Maybe she has prisoners. We should go check.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Is the chanting getting louder?
It seems to be growing in intensity, yeah.
When you say intensity, does it sound like it's getting closer, or they're just getting louder and more raucous?
They're just getting louder in the room. They're not leaving the room. This is definitely something is happening in this room.
Duke's going to start heading for the room.
Mm-hmm.
And can I make an Arcana check to see if he recognizes if this is a spell or a ritual that he's hearing?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, 13.
13, okay. You don't know the precise nature, but this sounds quite ritualistic in nature. You don't know what it is precisely, but it sounds like it could be a summoning ritual.
Ooh. When I get within 60 feet, do I think Counterspell would work against it?
No. You think that Counterspell probably won't work against this.
Okay.
But as you do get closer now, as you all make your way to the top of the staircase in front of this room, you can see what appears to be a large pool on the ground. shaped like a big mirror, and there's like a golden frame around the edges of it, but it's definitely it's like almost like a mercury sort of liquid. It's very reflective, very shiny, very bright. You see stood around it, there are 9 dwarves wearing dark robes with their hoods pulled down, their hands together, and they are sort of rocking backwards and forth as they're chanting. You see stood at the top, at the very end of this mirror, is Snow White, resplendent in her armor. It appears not a scratch is on her despite the fireball you'd cast earlier. And she doesn't seem to notice you. And as you make your way to the doorway, you watch as she walks into this pool, and you hear her chanting in this language that you don't understand before it breaks into common. And she says, "Mirror, mirror, on the floor. Who is the first?" Ooh, okay. Let's see if it works.
Wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
She succeeds.
Okay.
She is unheld, but she notices you, and her head snaps up. She says, "You will not interrupt my ritual." And she...
I would like to interrupt her ritual.
Never let a monologue.
So Mo starts humming, "Hello, darkness, my old friend," and cast silence around the pool.
Okay. So you'll have to remind me about silence. Is there any sort of save to that, or does it just happen?
It's a casting time, 1 action, concentration spell, 10 minutes. For the duration, no sound can be created within or pass through a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder damage, and creatures are deafened while entirely inside it. Casting a spell that includes a verbal component is impossible there.
Nice. Okay. So she is like starting to monologue, much like Charming had, and the whole person doesn't go off, but she's sort of midway and she's emoting and she's saying, and suddenly silence hits the room, and she seems very frustrated, at which point behind you from the shadows in the doorway, a man steps out wearing a cloak, and he pulls a dagger, and I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Ooh. Nine.
Let me put this here so I don't lose my page.
I knew eventually we'd get to the cloak and dagger stuff.
But Tish.
Well. Okay, I should be better at bloody bookmarks. I've only been doing this for years. Alright, so do I have between 25 and 20?
21.
21? Hot damn. Okay. So that is Mo. 20 and 15?
15.
16.
Versus 16 doing 15 for Bart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that was... and what did Sooty get? It was low, right? It was like 7? 9. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
No, it's around about that ballpark of just
Oh,
terrible.
Sooty. All right. So
Too
first up we
distracted by
have...
puppies.
It's the puppies, yeah. So first up we have Mo.
Okay. So I will glance over at my new friend Bart
Mm-hmm.
and give him some bardic inspiration. I'll say, what's a rogue's favorite class in school? Dex
I don't know.
Ed.
Oh.
Dex Ed.
Oh. Oh.
That was painful.
Oh, yeah. I would take the inspiration, but
Nonetheless, you are inspired. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn, Mo?
I'm just gonna keep concentrating on this spell.
Okay.
For now.
Okay. So, mm-mm-mm. Do I be super mean?
Has it stopped you before?
Oh, I'm a nice and benevolent DM. I don't know what you're talking about. It is the huntsman's turn. He has, sorry, not a dagger, as I said earlier. He has a short sword, which he pulls out, and he's going to make an attack at, well, 2 attacks at Mo, because Mo is the one who's been doing the most talking since you arrived on the scene. And Mo said, I would like to interrupt, and everything went quiet, and that seems very suspicious. So that is a, yikes, 22 to hit on the first.
Okay. Mo would like to spend another bardic inspiration as a reaction
Mm-hmm.
to use cutting words and subtract a d8 from that roll.
All right. Let's see how you do.
Seven.
That would bring it down to a 15. Does 15 hit?
Please. For some reason, I don't have Mo's armor class on this sheet.
Oh no!
Let me quick look on another page.
That's all good. It's all good.
My armor class is in my other pants.
I'm just gonna look back at that dinner lady dog. Oh god, that dinner lady dog. So actually, while we're looking at Mo's AC, just the huntsman, he looks a lot like Chris Hemsworth, weirdly. Very buff and handsome, with short blonde hair. Rugged looking almost, with his cloak and his short sword as he steps forth and he slashes at Mo, and we'll find out whether or not that connects in a moment. While that is happening, we will just hold this for now, this action. So that's 2 attacks. What would you be doing right now?
How close is the huntsman? Can I get within melee of the huntsman?
Yeah, absolutely. He's like right behind you in your group. He saw, as you came in the doorway, he was at the doorway and stepped forth and...
Excellent. Let's do Shocking Grasp.
Okay.
I believe that's a save on his part. Let me pull it up real quick. Nope. I have to make a melee spell attack roll. So.
All right.
Oh, don't think a 12 is going to hit.
Nope, unfortunately.
All right. Well, that's my action. I'm in melee with him, so I'm going to stay in melee with him right now.
Okie dokie. Any update on Mo AC?
Yes, I believe that 15 still hits him.
Okay. So it was a 15 on the first hit, and the second hit was a 10, so the second one probably doesn't hit.
It does not.
All right, so you will take... You take 7 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Five.
Oh no!
I deserve it for that terrible pun.
It's not gonna make it. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You take 6, 11. You take 19 points of poison damage as this blade sinks into you. The initial stab hurts, but then you feel the poison of the blade sort of ooze into your body, and it burns. And I need you to make another Constitution save for your silence spell. So that's enough, I think. Yeah, that would be enough. So you manage, despite that, to maintain your concentration, but despite that horrible attack upon your personage. All right, so that will bring us to Bart.
Okay, so good huntsman friend. He's in enough range for me to just step towards him and then attack him with a melee attack, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Cool. So I'm going to take a go up to him. I'm going to attack him with my rapier.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I am going to use. You just take it as a normal attack on him. Does a 19 hit?
It does, and you do have an ally within 5 feet, so you will have sneak attack.
That's exactly what I was going to do. Lovely. Do damage first. So the attack does 7. And we get 9 from sneak attack, so 16 in total.
Nice. Okay. All right. So you, seeing this guy step forward and stab your fabulous goblin bard friend, you decide you're not having that, and you step forth and stab this guy right back, and he takes a nasty blow. All right, which will bring us to Snow. She is currently within this sphere of silence, and she is going to continue to hang on. Let's see what she knows. Let's see if she's smart enough to figure it out. Nope, she's not. So she's going to have a hissy fit while she's stood in this silence. Sooty, you are up.
So, I think Sooty, being emboldened by her fiery fury from earlier, as well as currently being surrounded by puppies, Sooty suddenly has something to live for. Sooty has something to fight for. Sooty is going to turn into Were Corgi.
Yes.
Or Dire Corgi. And yeah, she's gonna dog out, and you'll just kind of hear a bunch of barking from inside your diligence. And at first you think it's just the puppies, and then suddenly out bursts this corgi with a little red cape on.
Okay. So bursting out from due diligence, like the cutest chest burster ever, is the dire corgi Sooty. Is there anything else you would like to do, Sooty?
Nope. She's just going to stand in a beautiful, like, pose.
And thank you so much, Stefan, who has just given the party nat 20s. So you all have a natural 20.
Hey, thank you, Stefan.
So
Thank you,
Thank you,
Stefan.
We should use them wisely, or maybe not.
no, don't use them wisely.
We'll use them counter wisely.
Use them to pet the puppies. Don't use them on plot critical times. And I might need you to fail a roll. Alright, what is that? Dude gets a nat 22 from Hum. What
Aw,
is
thank
this,
you,
chat?
Herm.
What is this? It's
Mwah.
like they don't want me to win. All right, so this will bring us back to the top of the round with Mo.
All right.
Damn it, Joe.
Well, the huntsman's right there. I think I'm gonna stab him with my short sword.
All right.
For a total of 20.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit. Stab him. You stab Chris Hemsworth. You stab him good.
Five points of piercing damage. No poison, though.
Nice. All right, so you're just like, hang on a second, that's not how this goes. You turn around and just stab him. It's like the Ides of March back here. Hot damn. Okay, so there was a wild magic surge for Sooty. So if you want to roll that, Madam Gandalf, we'll find out what happens. Well, while we're waiting for her to roll that, it is the huntsman's turn, and he is going to.
Oh, whoops, I had myself muted. I'm so sorry. I was saying like
It's okay.
it's a D10,000, yes?
Yes, D10,000, yeah.
Cool. I got 1,672.
1,672. What does that one do? Where's the thing? To do 172. Finding it. 1672. Caster stinks like a tomb when exposed to direct sunlight.
Oh no!
So we guess Sooty is
The smelliest, cutest corgi you ever did see.
As long as you stay inside of dew, you won't have to worry about being exposed to sunlight.
there we go.
We'll get you one of those puppy pads and
Sooty's emo days are not yet done. So The Chris Hemsworth assassin is going to keep up his assault on Mo, trying to break that concentration. He knows that the ritual must be completed. And that is a 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
And that
That's
one is a 20 not natural to hit.
Yep.
So you're going to take both hits?
I will. Let's see if I can actually use cutting words again.
I think you can use it, like, as long as you've got inspiration die left, you can use it.
Yeah, I've got one left, so I will go ahead and give it a shot.
Okay. So on the 20, you're using this on, which will bring it down to a 16, so that will still hit.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so on the first attack, you take 6 piercing damage with... Let me see if I can grab all these d6s. Oh no. With 33 poison damage.
Oh, it's unconscious.
Is Mo unconscious? Oh no, okay. So
Goblin down. Goblin down.
Mo goes down. And
she
the
froze
sound...
as well.
Yeah, I know. Timing. And you are aware of the silence breaking because you can hear snow moving in the mercury pool that she's stood in. You can hear the water liquid sort of lapping at her armor. Okay, so the huntsman is going to knock down Mo, and we'll just pretend that both hits did that, and I don't have to kill Mo. Oh, you just got a wild magic sedge do, and it is your turn. So if you want to roll, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Let's see here. $73.
73. What happens on 73? Let's find out. 73. All clothing becomes invisible to caster. So Do now has like X-ray vision, and everybody looks nude to him now.
Dude's really wishing that they hadn't put that ability in his protocol. He's like, although he does seem to spend an extraordinarily long amount of time staring at the huntsman.
Wouldn't we all?
Yes. All right then. So, now I'm going to hang on to that. I'm still in. Still in melee. I'm going to. I'm going to have to try. I can do create bonfire, I believe. Now let's do shocking grasp again. And he's wearing metal armor. Is that correct?
No, he's wearing like studded leather.
Okay. Because if they're wearing something metallic, then the attack has advantage. But if not, then
no. Snow is wearing full plate mail. Not that you can tell right now.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what we get here. 16.
16 hits.
All right. So we're gonna do 2d8 of lightning.
Nice.
Total of 15 lightning damage, and he cannot take reactions.
Nice.
Till the start of his next turn, which means that Do is going to grab the goblin Mo and put them in Sooty's hidey hole for now. And then look at Bart, apologize, and back away because he can no longer stay in melee.
Okie doke. Yep. Okay, so you do so. Bart, you are up.
Okay, so you say I can't stay in melee anymore, yeah? Okay. So what I might do is take a couple of steps back.
No, you would have. You still would have sneak attack though, because Sooty sort of bounced out as Wercoggy. So you do still have an ally within 5 feet, but it was just that moved away.
Oh, sure. Okay. So might as well. Well, it worked last time, so we'll try again. So I'm just going to go with the rapier, and if we do sneak attack, then we do sneak attack. Can I retcon rolls with the nat 20 that you have going?
Yeah, I'll let you.
Thanks. That's a 17 though.
That'll hit.
That'll hit. So that's fine. So we'll take that. Okay. 5 on the normal attack. And we go for 10 on the sneak attack. So that's 15.
Nice. Okay.
How is he looking now?
He's kind of approaching bloodied.
Fair enough.
He's on his way to being bloodied. But yeah, you step forth and you, with your rapier, getting a good couple of stabs as he's kind of distracted. He's just been tased by due diligence. He's not quite fully there as you stab. Okay, so this will now bring us to Snow, who is unsilenced, and she is going to spend her turn working further on her ritual. So she goes back fully. She's hands up to the sky. She's chanting in this. She's returned once more to this celestial language that you do not understand. Okay, so that will now bring us to Sooty.
Okay, so Sooty is going to go charging up with a little like in her dire corgi state and start being a little ankle biter. We're gonna try and bite some of those ankles of. Is it mostly just Snow that we have left, or is it the door?
The dwarves are kind of non-combatants. They're just kind of stood there, just doing their priesty thing. The combatants you have is the huntsman, who is currently you're in melee with Bart, and there's Snow, who is like 30 feet away, stood in a puddle of mercury, who's doing some spooky chanting stuff.
Spooky chanting. She's gonna help Bart then, and
all right,
and attack the huntsman with a nice little.
I think you get pack tactics, right?
Yeah, I'll take pack tactics. Tactics. All right, so that comes to a 16.
16 hits.
Awesome sauce. So let's do this 1d6 plus 1. That will be 4.
4, okay.
That is some annoying little ankle biting going on there.
You bite onto his ankles and you chew away. Do you have a thing where you can knock them prone? He has to make a strength saving throw, I think. Right?
I think we've done that in the past with the.
Yeah, we did.
The
yeah.
Corgo.
All right. So let's see if he does it.
Because it is a dire Corgo, after all.
Right. I don't imagine a 6 is going to succeed. So you manage to grab his ankle and pull him prone to the ground.
Yes.
And chew his
those
ankle.
little tugs that they do where it's like jerk, a little jerk, a little jerk, a little jerk as they pull the leg further away. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that it's like it takes a couple of tugs to get him, but like when you just catch him off guard and just to the ground. Which will bring us back to the top of the round, which is Mo. Now, Mo is unconscious, so a death saving throw, please.
15.
That's a success. Mo lives for now. It is the huntsman's turn, and he's prone. He's going to use half his movement to stand up again. And he's going to shout "bad dog" as he stabs at you, Sooty.
Oh no! You can't stab the Corgo.
So that's an 11 to hit.
I guess it's going to be the doggo stats, not mine, right?
Yep.
Oh, armor class 12. Ooh.
Oh, well, the other one was a 14 on the dice, so that one's going to hit. But
So
the first one
even.
doesn't. So that's that's 6 piercing damage, and then I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh. Okay. How does a 7 do?
So how constitutional is the were-corgi?
Only a 7.
Only a 7. Oh no, that's a fail. Well, 12, 15, 23. That's 29 points of poison damage as this blade just sticks itself into the side of the dire corgi. No, don't make that sound. No, don't do that.
It's so much worse.
The huntsman looks really sad as he's made the were-corgi make this sound. He's like, oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. That's his turn, which will bring us back to Do. Do, this dude just fucking stabbed Sooty.
I know. For a bonus action, would it be possible for Dew's internal sensors to do a medicine check on Mo in hopes of stabilizing them?
I believe that that's an action.
All right.
Oh no.
Yeah. He kicked Sooty. Yeah. I'm going to take a patch off of the robe, and it becomes a bullseye lantern that is lit and full of oil, and out comes the big yeet as he trebuchet catapults
Yes.
onto the huntsman.
All right.
Yes!
Let me see what this is. I keep having to pull up my spells. You'd think I'd have these memorized by now, huh?
It's all good. I've been playing a barbarian for the best part of 2 years, and I still forget like simple things.
Dexterity saving throw, DC 15 on the
Dex
huntsman.
save. Okay. So he does have evasion. So let's see. He fails the save, so he will take half damage from the catapult.
All right,
with
so this is
evasion.
going to be half of 3d8. And then I'll let you decide what happens with the fire because it's lit. So that's 14 bludgeoning. So half of that would be 7.
Yep. So how about the lantern explodes around him, which covers him in oil, and there's the fire from the lantern. How much damage does like a firebolt do?
Firebolt.
It's
Firebolt
like
2d10.
1d10 firebolt.
Firebolt is 2d10 level 5.
2d10 level 5. Okay. Well, it's basically you've thrown some fire at him, so let's have a firebolt damage on top of that.
All right.
See, I am a nice DM.
You are. I love you.
Oh. Look at that damage.
16 fire.
Holy crap.
All right. Hot damn, and this dude is looking rough. By the way, you also got another wild magic surge, so if you want to roll that for me, please.
Okay. $10,000, yeah. Oh, I wrote that wrong. It's r// slash die? How did I do
I think
it
it's
the
just
last time?
slash die. Yeah. I think it's just slash die. Bat, you're up next. So think about what? 9929. Dang.
Yep.
So I have to think about what you want to do, Bart. You're up next while we just resolve this. 9929. 9929. Where are you at? Roll me 1d10. Roll me 1d100.
Okay. $45.
The temperature drops 45 degrees within hang on, within 60-yard radius of due diligence.
It just got cold.
It got real cold. Okay, so Mo, you got a crit success. No, sorry, Bart got a crit success for his next saving throw. But Mo, don't forget you have a nat 20, so if you want to use that for your next death save. However, next up we have Bart. Now you were also given a wild magic surge. So if you want to type into Fantasy Grounds /die 110,000, please.
Oh no, that's not quite worked. So /I1. I meant to type that through. Sorry.
So if you just pop it like that, just
put it in VMix chat.
Yeah, if you just copy paste that from VMix into the text box, it should do it for
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 4704.
4704. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. 4704. Where are you on my list? 4704. Ooh, okay, so the next spell that attacks you, spell strikes the next creature that attacks the target. Okay, so that's weirdly worded, but I'll say the next spell that targets you will go back to the caster. So if somebody tries to fireball you, they fireball themselves, but they won't know that. Okay, so you are toe-to-toe with the huntsman. What would you like to do?
So, yeah, it hasn't failed yet, so let's try one more time. Exactly as we did
Stab
before.
Chris Hemsworth. Wait, probably shouldn't chant that on Twitch.
Righto, so we're going to go with the... can I retcon Bardic Inspiration on that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Oh, no,
Oh,
that's
don't
nat
need
20.
it.
Oh, who cares? Cool.
You don't need it. Let's go.
Right. Is anyone within 5 feet of him for us to do?
Yes,
things
Sooty
for?
is.
Amazing. So you're a diamond.
Oh my god.
10's a normal
Oof.
attack.
But it's crit, so you roll that. You roll all of that twice.
Okay. So that's 20 plus 28. That's 48.
Right. So you just. How do you want to kill Chris Hemsworth?
I just want to. I want to take the rapier
Well,
just straight through his windpipe. Straight through his windpipe.
Ooh. Okay.
See you later, handsome boy.
You know, you leave his face for his mother and just straight through the windpipe, and he just crumples to the ground. All right. So goodbye.
That'll
handsome.
leave you a bit sore in the morning.
Shouldn't have laughed at that. That was terrible. All right. That was Bart's turn. It's Snow's turn. She is going to continue with this ritual, but you can see now as she's now raised her hands and she has them clasped in front of herself and her eyes are closed. She's muttering now, but the mercury around her is turbulent and you can see something that looks like tentacles starting to come out of the mercury that she is stood in. Sooty, you are up.
All right, I think Sooty is having. Oh, I've got to do my is it con save for poison?
No, because it's just on the attack. It's just like an extra damage. It's not like a continuing effect.
Got you. All right. Well, I think Sooty actually looking pretty hurt as the core go, and seeing tentacles suddenly pop up. Not that she kink shames. That's against the rules.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's gonna go running back to due diligence and like uncorgify. And is that an action on beasting?
No, I
okay,
think you can just drop wild your animal form, right? You just drop it.
Cool. So yeah, she's just gonna go diving back to due diligence, uncorgify, and due diligence. You're just gonna feel these hands of like guidance encouraging you from within. Oh, that sounds weird to say.
It's cramped in there too. There's an unconscious goblin.
All the better reason for me to like be inside of Jew right now. I can help Mo out.
Out of context D&D, there we go. Okay. So, do you feel guided, Mo? It is a death save time, but you do have that nat 20.
I would like to use that nat 20.
Okay, so you spring back to life with 1 hit point.
Oh, hi.
You also were donated a wild magic surge, so if in the VMix chat you can see the prompt there, that /, check that into Fantasy Grounds. Let's see what you got.
All 3s.
Ooh, okay. That is a good number. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Where is it? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Ugh! Caster's teeth rotate 180 degrees.
Oh.
Oh.
Ugh,
Ugh.
that's nasty.
So, yeah. No.
Goblin teeth just spin and get a little more goblin-y.
Yeah. They kind of stick out a little bit now. Well, there you go. So that was basically your turn to come back to life and to have your teeth spin around. Alright. So that will bring us to Do.
Yeah, okay. She's in the middle of the lake. Or puddle, and
She is, yeah, in the big mirror.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. That would look really pretty, all glowy. So, fireball.
All right. So that is a Dex. I nearly said death save.
Dex save.
Dex save.
Dex save.
Yikes! That's a fail.
Oh yeah. Here comes the 8d6.
Boom! Here comes the boom.
Yep. That's 30 points of fire damage.
All right. There's some 6s in there. Hot damn.
Yeah. And some what?
That's
4 6s and 3 1s.
All right. So there is a large, and you can see now as this pool that she stood in starts to. There's flames that are kind of just sitting on the surface and floating around her. Her beautiful coiffured hair is like there's just one hair out of place, which shows that the attack did land. However, her perfect porcelain skin and ruby red lips remain unmarred for now, as she seems intent on maintaining this ritual as best she can. All right, so that will. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think I'm pretty. Oh, how close am I to the edge of the mirrored surface in a dwarf?
The dwarves are kind of like dotted around all the edge, so you're anywhere between like 10 and 60 feet away from a dwarf.
Could I run into one and push him into the pool?
Okay, you engage the wheels and just... Okay, yeah, go for it. Let's have an athletics check to hip check a dwarf.
That's an 18.
My God.
Okay. So, much like the dwarf on the wall that was hit by Bart's firebolt, you hear a Wilhelm scream as he just splashes into the mercury, and a little hand just goes, and there's bubbles. Okay.
That's a bad way to go.
It's an awful way to go.
Yeah,
All
drowning
right.
mercury, man, that's not good.
All
Distracting
right.
the tentacles.
Bart, you are up next.
Yeah, so I'd like to launch a firebolt at dearest Snow.
All right. Roll that attack.
I am going to add on the D8 onto that. Hold on.
All right, your inspiration.
No, 13.
13 unfortunately doesn't hit.
Yeah.
It just goes wide of her. She doesn't even move. She is so entranced in this right now. And you see actually as you are looking at her to throw this firebolt, her eyes have kind of glazed over and they've gone like a jet black as she
Not
is
so
muttering.
low right now.
And it's now actually her turn, and her head snaps up, and her eyes, as I said, are jet black, and the thing she's been saying has gone from this sort of musical sing-song language to tinged with something else, kind of like playing a Black Sabbath record backwards. It's got that sort of sound to it, that disturbing edge. And now rising from this pool, you can see the top of something horrific, something unknowable. It is covered in writhing black inky tentacles, and there is one great red eye that is starting to peer out of the surface of this pool that she's in. Okay, which will bring us to Sooty.
Okay, so I think Mo, you're still
inside due diligence with me, right?
Yep.
I'm going to then you. It is a great sentence, right? Just a goblin and a halfling hanging out inside a warforged.
2 girls, 1 warforged. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There are puppy pads in there.
Roll 2, roll 2, roll 2, roll 2.
But I do think she's going to use what was the term for it? Not cure wounds. I think it's lesser restoration is what I have at this point. Or healing word.
Healing word? That's like a smaller heal?
Yeah, I'll use a healing word on Mo, and so that Mo can get back up into fit fighting strength.
You got this, Mo. I truly believe in you.
Thanks, Tutti.
And let's see. Ooh, that will give you 7 heals, 7 hit points.
All right.
All right. You feel a little bit regenerated, Mo. Like the world is just a little bit better. Although there is the smell of tomb very close. You're not quite sure where it's coming from, but it smells like a tomb in here.
Can't be worse than goblin smell, right?
I mean,
Due diligence is going to be like airing himself out for days.
it's got like little air fresheners, you know, like you're having cars.
They're all in little shapes of trees. Just
I imagine Sooty's already got the fuzzy dice hanging in there somewhere.
All right. Would you like to move anywhere, Sooty, or is that you?
No, she'll stay inside at the moment.
Oh, a healing word is a bonus action, so you could use a cantrip.
Oh. Ooh, I could use a cantrip. In that case, I will use I'm gonna use resistance.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna use that on Dew.
All right.
So yeah, now you can roll a d4 and add the number to your saving throw of your choice.
But
Especially
hey,
since Snow's getting all, magical up in here.
okie doke. So that will bring us back to the top of the round with Mo. So Mo, you have low HP. There's like a banana pine scented air freshener somewhere around your face. And your teeth are weird now.
Okay. So it has to be said because it has to be done. I touch myself and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Okay. All right. So, Goblin, heal thyself. And while Mo is healing himself, is there anything else you'd like to do after you've done that? Oh.
There we go.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
I think I will pop out so I can get ready for my next turn.
All right, so you pop out of due diligence and prepare yourself for the next round of battle. You're up.
Are any of these tentacles close by?
So they're all kind of focused on one sort of body. They're not sort of tentacles dotted around the water. Large creature is sort of emerging, basically. So it's a large creature with tentacles all up on it.
Oh, okay. Is this surface, is it water or is it metallic?
It's like metallic-y water, but you get a feeling it
Okay.
might be metal.
So if I were to shocking grasp the water,
I'll allow it.
do I get advantage because it's metal?
I'll allow it. Because it's the finale. See, I'm feeling nice.
All right, let's see what happens. Nothing happened. That's a 12.
Oh no. Okay,
Oh, no.
nothing happens.
Have you still got your nat 20?
I do still have my nat 20.
Do you want to use it on this?
Trying to think. Yeah, why not? Because that's going to be 48 of damage. Lightning
all
damage.
right. Ooh.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you.
Oh, Do has 2 nat 20s. Apparently.
Oh. So that's 20 of lightning damage.
Damn. All right.
So if she's standing in the water wearing the full plate, plus the creature. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Guys.
okay. Right, dying. Let me get this so much. Okay, so there is just bolts of electricity that sort of race across the surface of this pool, and you see, as for a second, almost like a cartoon, you almost see Snow Skeleton just as she is zapped. And this creature is zapped, and there's like a sort of little smoky steam that rises off the pool. The dwarf that you hip checked into the pool, his robe has kind of floated up to the top, and that's just now on fire. You don't see it, however, do you? Just see fire. Because everybody's naked to you right now. All right, so Bart, you're up next.
Right. So yeah, I'm just going to take aim for. We can take aim for Snow again. Just see if
All
we
right.
can, go on the same thing before. So we're going to go with the. Come on, computer, stop being a pain in my neck. I'm going to go with Firebolt one more time, and I might, depending on the roll, do the thing.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to use my nat 20 on that one.
All right. So
Yeah,
that's
came
a
back
crit.
as a 6. So yeah. Cool. So with Firebolt, we are looking at 2d10, so that's d10 gone. Oh. So that is a 16.
16. All right,
Yeah.
to Snow. All right.
And the flammable object hits by the spell ignites if it isn't being worn. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, sorry, ignore me.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Her cape is on fire now, just at the bottom, just for cool flavor. She seems unperturbed by it at the minute, but it is her turn, and as she sort of regains some composure from herself, her eyes stop being glazed over black, and she shouts once more to this pool as this thing is starting to fully emerge now at this point. She shouts, "Awaken my master!" as she pulls out her longsword, and she's going to run towards whoever is closest. So who's closest to the pool?
Probably Duke, because he's right on the edge of it.
Mm-hmm. Don't think she can fully get to you yet, but she is run right up to the edge of the pool, and she's like 10 feet away. She's just this close. Okay. So she has her sword out and ready. I need to roll now for this creature that she summoned. Oh, no. That's not good for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so Sooty, you're up.
Okay. So, I think at this point, Sooty's going to cast Entangle around the area of the pool and whatnot. Or towards snow mostly, but yeah.
Yeah, you try and entangle snow. That's cool. Yeah.
Because you're like, oh no, she's coming in for that run and stab.
Yeah, she's going for duo too. Like you can't have that. So it is a dex save, right?
Strength save.
Strength. I get it wrong every time. That was a 2 on the dice, so I'm gonna guess that doesn't do it.
Nope, not at all. So now she is currently restrained by the plants. And
She is restrained.
You have to use an action to make a strength check. Next turn.
Sweet. Okay, so she is ensnared by these vines in a very fabulous JoJo-esque pose, because I'm just gonna fucking go for it with the references today. So she is entangled. Is there anything else you would like to do, Sooty?
And I think that is good for Sooty right now.
Okay, so that will bring us to the top of the round. Now, the creature that was summoned now sort of pulls itself out of the gloop and begins to float above it. And you see just this horrific, eldritch sort of abomination with its bright red eyes. Its body appears to be formed of these tentacles that are just all writhing and merging over each other. Its mouth opens and you just see these huge, horrible teeth. And, give me a second, we'll see what it does. I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Is it casting a spell? Oh, wait, no, I don't have any slots left. Never mind.
You have
That's
no
fine.
slots left?
Not for third level. Not for counterspell.
Okay.
All right, so dexterity saving throw?
Yeah.
All right, so I get to add a d4 to that. And as a reaction, if I needed, I can also add another 4 because of War Mage. So if need, I'll see if I need that or not.
And remember,
First,
you do have that nat 20 up your
Oh.
sleeve.
that is a nat 20 for the dexterity save.
Okay. This beam of necrotic, deathly energy just sort of zooms out of this thing's horrible red eye and envelops you, but nothing happens.
I like to think he's buffed so polished and shiny that it just kind of refracts like a light like a laser light show.
Off of him. Yeah, no, I love it. And I need a dex save from you, Bart.
Cool. Is this for a spell?
No, it's not a spell. It is like by the book. It's like a beholder eye ray. So
Sure. It's 15.
15. Unfortunately, you do not make the save. You are slowed. Your speed is halved for a minute. In addition, you can't take reactions, and you can either take an action or a bonus action on your turn, not both. However, you do get to make the saving throw at the end of each of your turns or until the effect is ended.
Can I just counteract on that one? My saving throw is actually from the chat. I got the saving throw, didn't I? I can't remember who it was.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
7 on my next saving throw. Yeah, excuse me. So yeah, I pass that.
You make the save. Okay, you are not slowed. Cool. And Sati, I need you to make me a dex save.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, will a 16 do it?
A 16 will not do it. So you
No.
Oh no! You feel your body lock in place, and as you look down, you see your feet begin to turn to stone. You are now considered restrained, but you can repeat the saving throw at the end of your next turn.
Okay, oh no.
Okay, so that is that creature's turn. That's gonna bring us to Mo.
Okay. So I would like, so the creature is hovering above the pool and Snow is right at the edge because she was attacking Due Diligence.
Yep,
So
but she's currently all entangled, so she's at your mercy.
I would like to, I'm going to eyeball a point over the pool so that I can cast Shatter on the creature and Snow and not hit any of my friends.
Nice! You can do that.
Yes. Do it.
So that will be a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
For them. And my DC is 14.
Well, they both fail because I can't roll. So roll your damage and get them.
$13.
13 damage. Okay, nice. Okay, so there's just this huge sound of just an explosion of something breaking as Mo casts Shatter, and Snow sort of seems to physically recoil. The creature sort of bounces back a little bit before resuming its float above the pool. But they both seem to have taken damage. Dew, you're up next. Snow is 10 feet in front of you, but there is a big-ass scary eye thing behind her.
Snow is also restrained, which means she has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Mm-hmm.
And Dew has been saving something off of his robe for just such an event, and I believe that this is where it will come in most handy, as he is going to use the big yeet, and he's going to pull off a patch, and in the space of the 10 feet, a 12-foot long rowboat will hit.
Okay.
Because why the fuck not?
Why the fuck not? Let's hit Snow White with a rowboat.
We'll do, of course, do it second level.
Yacht.
Eat that yacht. Okay, so she failed.
Alright. Well, it's only 4d8, but it's just for laughs.
Principle of the thing, right?
So that's 21 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. So as
She gets hit in the face with a rowboat.
Snow is frozen in place, sword raised, ready to get you. There's a gleam of something mischievous in your eye as you summon the big yeet. You pull off this patch. There's a moment of recognition of what's just about to happen before it hits her. Literally hits her, and she gets crushed by this boat that just splats on top of her, and the metallic water just turns a little bit red beneath this boat, which is now just lovely bobbing away in this water. You have killed Snow White with a rowboat.
Mission accomplished.
I have achieved peak D&D.
All right, that will bring us to Bot.
I'm backing
Oh,
up
unless you want to do
30
anything.
feet. I'm backing up 30 feet.
Bot, what would you like to do?
Right, so how far away is the creature that's coming towards us?
I'd say you could probably get there with your movement if you wanted to. It's
Okay,
within
is it
movement
still
range.
over is it still over the pool of mercury, or is it?
Yes, it's still over the water. Yeah.
Okay. What I'd like to do is
There's a boat there
run
now.
and
There's a
jump
boat.
on. Yeah, run and jump onto the boat, and hopefully the boat's close enough so I can take my rapier to.
Yeah, that's
the
really
dude,
cool.
yes.
So yes, we'll let that happen. Roll your attack.
I just fail miserably. Oh, 14.
14. That won't hit, but you do manage to. You take a run. You jump into the boat and use the momentum of your run to push the boat forwards. There's a second where it catches on Snow's plate mail just under the hull, and there's a horrible as it sort of moves off her squished form, but the momentum carries you within melee distance of this creature. Let's just cross Snow off the initiative. She's never gonna go again. Okay. Which will bring us to Sooty. Now, you did get a wild magic surge.
Oh goodness. Okay. All right, let's give that a nice little roll. 662.
662.
So close to a 666.
Right? Alright, 662. 662.
So not only is Sooty stanky and stony, what else you got going on?
She cannot cast spells unless she's wearing a hat.
You
Sure.
have an idea?
I have an idea.
I am so odious for this.
Due diligence, you have a printer with paper. Let's fold a paper hat.
I will let that happen now. So Mo, you get this feeling that Sooty needs a hat now. And so you open Due Diligence's paper drawer for
I
his
have
printer.
seen her wearing many, many hats. She needs that.
You fold up a paper hat. You frisbee it across. It lands perfectly on Sooty's head. Sooty, what would you like to do?
Pose.
Fashion.
Exactly, fashion. Pose. Yes, Sooty now feeling so encouraged from having her Peter Pan paper hat on.
It probably says warrant.
I am the warrant. The warrant is within me.
Is it at the beginning or the end of my turn that I need to see if I can unstonify?
It's the end of your turn. Yeah, sorry, you are restrained, aren't
Okay.
you? So you need to make a. Was it a con
All right,
save?
so
Dex save?
I believe
I can't
dex
remember.
save, con save, one of those. I think what Sooty will do in the meantime
it's a dex.
is... Oh, it's a dex. Cool. I think in the meantime, she will... no. For a moment, I was about to use the puppies, but no. We'll save the puppies. We'll keep the puppies. Flaming sphere, a nice little flaming sphere. Then
Alright.
sent over to Snow's way.
Okay. So that is it's a dex save from me, right?
Yes, that was a dex save.
Oh, that is a fail. So roll that damage.
Ooh. That would be a 10.
All right. Okay. And if you want to roll as that dex save to see if you become unpetrified.
Ooh, that would be a 4.
Oh no! Okay, so you can feel this effect happening. You can feel your body turning to stone. You have a couple of brief seconds to pose yourself in a really cool way before you become a tiny sooty statue. What would you like to do?
I will do the, looking for my wallet pose.
Okay.
I know I put it somewhere. Where is it?
Okay. As you freeze yourself in that reaching for your back pocket sort of look, your body just turns to stone. And I've just realized what time it is, and we have run out of time to finish this combat. So very briefly, how do you defeat this horrifically unknowable creature? You will defeat it, but how do you do it?
I am going to pick up Sooty and use the big yeet one more time. To catapult Sooty at it.
Okay. So we're yeeting
And use a
Sooty.
nat 20 to do it.
Okay, Mo, how would you like to contribute to this big final blow?
Terrible. I could cast Shatter at 3rd level on the creature, but Sooty's in the way.
I'm on the boat. Sooty's in the way. Sooty turns into 1,000 pieces, and the boat shatters underneath my feet. Delightful.
And that's how Sooty died.
Mo goes first in the initiative order, so that Do goes after.
That is true.
That's true. So I will center on a point above the creature, so everyone else is out of the way, and cast Shatter at 3rd level.
Fabulous. And Bart, what do you do?
I've still got a few of the sweeteners in my pocket, so I want to get those out and try and get them into a open wound on the creature, just to make it suffer that little bit more at the end of it. And then once the shatter happens and the mercury kind of ripples underneath, I want to try and surf the boat out of the mirror.
Okay, so I'm envisaging a scene. All happens in slow-mo. There's like a very dramatic piece of classical music in the background. There is an explosion of a shatter as Mo casts Shatter. The marble ceiling starts to fall down around you. The mercury is going crazy as Bart rips open a packet with his mouth and just shoves it into this creature's face, rubs it in before surfing away in this boat. And you pick up your longtime friend, your roommate, your constant companion, and you big yeet Sooty, and we close on Sooty's expression, frozen, looking for her wallet, as she closes in on the camera, which is the creature's face. It cuts to black as there is a huge impact, and the evil is defeated. You have saved the day. You have saved Taylandia. They will sing songs of your victory from this day onwards. Maybe leave out the drugs parts, but they will still songs about your victories.
Sooty got the final blow.
Sooty got the final blow.
Fitting.
So as we say goodbye and we go around one more time, just around our cast and crew, instead of asking if you enjoyed it, what I would like to ask is, once you retire from the TPD, what does your character do? So, Origami Shuriken, thank you so much for being with us for this finale. What does Mo do after all of this?
Mo is going to retire to some sort of labyrinthine castle or stronghold, and make music and collect many a cult following.
Oh, does he steal babies? Maybe one or two.
Probably.
That's fair. That's fair. So where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Origami Shuriken, where I occasionally post artwork of D&D characters from my home games, and occasionally show up on other people's live streams. So, yeah, check it out if you like stories.
Thank you very much.
Terrible pun. Terrible pun.
And 7 of Diamonds, where does Bart end up after all is said and done?
So over the next 2 or 3 years, he has to battle a very, very bad blow addiction. But he gets clean. He gets clean, lots of hard work, and he eventually becomes a world-renowned yoga instructor.
Wow. Nice. Where can we find you all over the internet?
So you'll find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, 7 of Diamonds, of with a V instead of a F. You'll generally see me complaining that I've got a very bad back, but posting a lot of video game stuff and just doing what I can to make my life a slightly more creative place.
Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight. It was
Well, thank you for
wonderful to
having me.
have Bart with us. Madam Gandalf, what is Sooty up to? We'll say that Sooty could be saved. A greater restoration was found for Sooty.
I think Sooty will help renew the TPD back to its formal glory. She will move out of due diligence and back to under her desk. And she will also put up a wanted for hire living table family. With the little step stool and things like that. Like, really, she's replicating it once again. And making sure that our beautiful centaur of a captain has this brand new chair made specifically for centaurs. I don't know how that really works. Maybe it has like a space for 4 legs or something. But yeah, she'll just happily continue working on at the TPD.
Oh, and where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet, on like Twitter and Twitch, doing the Twitch things and the Twitch stuff and the Twitch places, all under Madam Gandalf with an E. That's right, I am married to Gandalf. I am not a madam for Gandalf. And yeah, we do all the things and the stuffs, D&D, cooking, singing, face painting, you name it, we've probably done it at some point. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you in the Green Dragon Tavern. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much for playing with us for that whole season. I'm so sorry.
I wouldn't have it any other way, Susie. I would not have it any other way.
All right, and Cleric of Cod, Cat, where does Do end up?
Do, after being mistaken a few too many times for a garbage bin, finally retires. And he opens up a home for gnomes. And he basically rescues gnomes, and rehabilitates them and then releases them back out into the wild. Especially the ones that seem to be petrified, those he keeps and cares for the rest of their days, going around and making sure that they're all taken care of. And for those of you who are wondering what the deal is, when I first made Due Diligence, I gave him a bonds and ideals and flaws that were all the same thing. Due diligence may not injure a gnome, or through inaction allow a gnome to come to harm, because Due was built by deep gnomes. Due diligence must obey orders given to it by a gnome, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And due diligence must protect its own existence, as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. And so due diligence will spend the rest of his days obeying his prime orders.
And he built a lovely little gnome community, although instances of garden gnome kidnappings skyrocket around Thailandia. But where can we find you around the internet, Kat?
Oh, you can find me all over the place. Actually, I'm going to be taking a few days off because I have family in visiting. But check the pinned tweet on my page. I may be playing this weekend. I may not. I don't know yet. But I will be back on next Wednesday. Oh, I will be back on Monday, actually, right here on Encounter Roleplay at 2 p.m. Eastern as Sefenia Gregori, a Battle of Sister in Inquisitor Warhammer 40K. We are about to face another Eldritch type horror, I believe. Could get interesting. And Wednesdays, this next Wednesday will be the finale of Robot Hamlet versus Robot Richard III at Other Docs channel, where I'm playing Kate Minola, also known as Kate the Shrew. Come check us out. It's a lot of fun. We have a blast. After that, check my pinned tweets. Got some fun stuff coming up in May. Can't quite talk about, but yeah, got some fun stuff coming up in May for you guys.
Thank you so much for playing with us for all this season, Kat. It's been an absolute joy to have Due on the team. As for myself, Captain Brayman Colt retires after a long distinguished service. He and his husband go off to a quiet countryside retreat. Every now and again the phone rings from the TPD and he screens his calls like a motherfucker. He does not pick up and he lives a quiet, happy life in the countryside. After his long earned break, Bob becomes Thailandia's #1 confectioner, specializing in jam donuts. He overtakes the monopoly that grannies once had, and the desk lives a long and distinguished life serving with the TPD until he sees his son grow up to be the first stool in the White House of Thailandia, representing the country's finest and doing his duty. Other people had good, happy endings too. There's too many characters that we made that I love too much, but they all had good, happy endings. As for me, I am Susanna Grace, otherwise known as Susie, and I am a variety streamer who streams video games, tabletop RPGs, and art streams. You can find me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on my own channel, where I stream Dungeons and Dragons, The Witcher TRPG. We're playing a lot of Sekiro at the minute. We do a whole bunch of stuff, so check that out. Thursdays, I will be on RPG Webby from the 25th of April in a Song of Ice and Fire campaign called After the Fire. Fridays, you can find me back here in this time slot for the Judge Dredd campaign, which I'm very excited about because I love Judge Dredd. And on Sundays, you'll be able to find me on Tales from the Grim, where we're playing Sky Chasers, which is a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition campaign about like 1950s spooky UFO conspiracy stuff. So I'm really, really excited about all of those. I have a pinned tweet, so check that out because I'll tell you where I am and what I'm doing at any given time. And I'm super sorry we ran over as long as we did, but thank you all so much for coming with us on this absolutely buck wild journey. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. And yeah, take care everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.